The Muscle Gaming channel on YouTube. Today we are going to be starting the long and arduous journey of playing every Assassin's Creed game in chronological order, since they are all free right now. All 15 of them are free right now. Except for Valhalla, which I have to buy, which is not going to be a big deal. That's the only one. And Mirage. Mirage is the next one I have to purchase. Because Mirage comes out, I don't know when. Let me see here. Let me find out. What's the release date for Assassin's Creed Mirage?
Here's what I found from radiotimes.com. The Assassin's Creed Mirage release date will occur in 2023. Ubisoft has confirmed with this rather broad release window being out alongside the game's initial reveal trailer.
What? We don't even know if we're going to be able to get Mirage before we finish. Hopefully, if we don't finish the series or get even close to Mirage before the game comes out. There is no release date cited on here. That's weird. Uh-oh. I didn't put a trash bag in my game. Uh-oh, hold on. Just Odyssey? Let me double check. Oh, no, go back. Nope. Let me double check my bookmarks to see if I'm playing the right game, because if not, I'm going to be pissed. No, I got the right one. Okay. Woo! Lord have mercy. Then Origins, okay, Origins. Okay. Alright, so we are playing the right game.
Το παραδείγματι των έργων αυτού είναι να αντιβάλλουμε το δέον γενέστε εις δεινά συλλογισμών. Αλλά της έμιδος ναός ούκε στην
Making pro player.
Ένα επιχείρημα δύο οι όροι εσύ. Το γίγνωστην και το εφίσταστο. Σύμφωνοι.
Cool.
Μόνον πράγμα τελείται. Η μεταλόγηση των κλήσεων ζητήματος κοινός και αναπόδρασες εκβάσεις έτεινες λιπτές.
Wait, how many sites is there? Does it say? I gotta go in here. Right here. Hey. Where is it?
Η τραγωδία κινείται μεταξύ τριών βαθμίδων. Δι συνεκτιμήσε δεόντως το απροσδόκητον του πελάτου και τεθεμελιώστε τα δεδομένα και μετά.
Μετά δι παριστάνε το άλγος αυτόν.
There's 76
Τι αλλού
on
ευρίσκεται η
these.
γνώσης ή μη πάρεις μάγκα
Oh, watch out, buddy. Watch out, buddy. Did I go the wrong way? I did. I think I went the wrong way. I remember where it says this way, I think. There it is.
Αλλά ότι με τεχνών μη πολύολβε, πολυλίστη λυτήρα κακών, εις τρούς αυροτών ψυχάς, σύ Θεά, δώσ' ειρήνην πολύολβων και κόρον
Εφόλβη συνενώρες, λαφός
Did it show you where the tours are? Wait, tour home. Yes, we can do this way. Okay, that makes so much better. Belongs in a museum, the antiquity, discovery of prehistoric bones and where someone.
Greetings, Wanderer. It is my pleasure to introduce you to a unique tour. One that won't take you to impressive landmarks or famous battle sites, but through a typical Athenian home. My name is Aspasia. Though I am not originally from Athens, I have climbed to the top of its social ladder using my wit and intellect.
Good job.
I've even earned the love of Pericles, one of the most powerful men in the city.
Well,
the mind truly is a beautiful thing.
Maybe.
If Olympus is Zeus's sanctuary, then my house is my own. It is a place where I can shelter myself from the noise and stress of city life. My name is Aspasia. Though I am not originally from Athens, I've even earned the mind truly is a beautiful... My name is Aspasia.
God damn it.
Though I am not originally from Athens, I've even... The mind truly... For an outgoing people like the Greeks, the house was a refuge of privacy. Inside, they could escape from the constant demands of civic life to enjoy the simple
There's a couple
pleasures
of there's like
family
4 of
life.
them up there. Good God.
Look
Wait,
for me
6
when you are
G's.
done, and we can discuss the things you've seen. Farewell for now.
The house, or oikos, was a residence for Greek families and their slaves. Contrary to modern houses, which look outward, the Greek household was built to look inward on a courtyard. The courtyard was the house's central fixture. It was the building's main source of daylight, and also the location of religious altars dedicated to worship. The building itself was made up of familiar accommodations, including bedrooms, storage rooms, a kitchen, and a living room. Women were generally in charge of tending to the home, which in Greece was called oikonomia, a term that inspired the modern word economy.
You just follow it. Okay, that's fine. Gods of the household. Ooh, cool. That's pretty neat. Run through here. Wow, this is pretty cool.
A pasta was a corridor that connected a house's courtyard to its residential section. Archaeological evidence from the city of Olynthos reveals that pastas were added to Greek home design in the 5th century BCE.
Okay, guys, so we are going to, well, as you see, we are playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And why, do you ask? Am I starting with this one? Because we are going to play every single game. We are going to play every single game, every single... in chronological order. Wait, is there an interaction? There is an interaction.
A pasta was a corridor. Archaeological evidence from the city.
Okay, so we finished that one.
Greeks had no qualms about combining their work and their private lives, and many of them worked from home. Artisans like blacksmiths, sculptors, and potters often had workshops in their houses. Some even operated small stores to sell their work. Similarly, doctors were known to treat patients in special offices located in their homes. Women also worked in the house and were responsible for making textiles, as well as producing clothes and supervising weaving, which was carried out by slaves. If the household was wealthy enough, they could even produce a surplus of textiles to sell in times of financial difficulty.
Yep, they would. Actually, smart. Interactive. No, it's not interactive.
The inner courtyard was the nexus of the house. Functionally, it allowed air to circulate and also provided access to most of the rooms. It also sometimes housed a well or a cistern that collected rainwater. In the center of the courtyard was an altar to Zeus Hercules, who served as the protector of the household. Women would often use the space to sew and cook, while children used it as a play area. Furthermore, if the family had pets or animals, the courtyard was where they were allowed to run free. Greeks had no qualms about combining the artisans like blacksmiths. Similarly, women also worked in the house. If the household...
Okay. We gotta go to the gold now, the gold days. Okay. So this is the next one. Over here.
The bathroom was located in the back of the house. Much like today, it was used for cleaning and washing, although the Greeks used chamber pots instead of toilets. Most bathrooms had a luterion that could be filled with water for washing. Mirrors, razors, strigils, and sponges could also be found in the bathroom, along with small vases called arebaloi, which were usually filled with perfume or oil.
Sure. Oh! Okay, I didn't see that.
Greek homes had kitchens where the family's meals were prepared. The Greeks did not often eat meat, except during special occasions like banquets or after sacrifices. They had mainly a grain-based diet, eating staples such as bread, porridge, or a barley cake called maza. They also occasionally ate poultry, fish, and other seafood, as well as fruits, vegetables, goat milk and cheese, and olive oil. Food was cooked on a tripod, or sometimes in a klibanos, which was a sort of mobile oven. Other cooking implements included braziers, mortars and pestles, a spit to hold food over a fire, platters, and frying pans. The family also used the kitchen to store food in containers called pithoi.
Ah ha ha.
Symposia were major social institutions in Greece. They were drinking parties held exclusively for men. The party took place in the men's section of the house, the andron, where residents and guests reclined on special couches called klinai. Food was served on low tables set in front of the couches, while wine was placed in a crater in the center of the room.
Yep.
During a symposium, men drank, sang, had philosophical discussions, and played games like kotobos. Musicians, dancers, and even courtesans were often welcomed to attend as well. However, wives and daughters were always excluded.
That is nuts.
The Pyrgos, or women's quarter of the house, where they could pursue their activities and observe the city without being seen themselves. The rooftops were also used in a special rite called the Adonia, a private celebration held in honor of Adonis, which was reserved for women. At the beginning of spring, women filled terracotta pots with soil and lettuce seeds, then climbed a ladder to place the pots on the rooftop. These pots served as the women's very own Gardens of Adonis.
I hope you now have a better understanding of the routines and home life of the Greek people. What would you like to do next? Then let's start with a simple question. Which group of people celebrated the Adonia? Correct. The Adonia was celebrated by women of all stations.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next question.
We celebrate
Which
too.
of the following was known as the protector of the household?
Oh, where is he?
No, this particular Zeus was known as Zeus of the Oath.
Oh!
Try again. Yes, Zeus Herkios protected the household, and an altar to the god usually stood in the
Herkios, I couldn't think
center
of it.
of the house's courtyard.
Whoa! Okay.
On to the final question.
What is
Which
it?
of the following was not located in the bathroom? I'm afraid mirrors were quite common in bathrooms. Keep trying.
Okay.
The Luterion was a water basin that was located Correct. The Klivanos was a mobile oven usually found in the kitchen. It seems you really know your way around Greek homes. Well done, Wanderer.
You're welcome. Okay.
As you wish. Come with me.
As you wish. I go the next tour. That was fucking great. I like that a lot. This is really interesting to me. It's already 8:30. Jesus. People. I'm gonna go grab you another drink real quick. I'll be right back. I'll be at work till 4 tomorrow for some reason, 4:30. first tour, and it guides you through like this. The first tour that you take is like inside Greek homes. You learn about the homes, about where the guys section of the house is. Okay. Oh, she in the house. Yeah. Dogs and cats are crazy. The dogs and cats are odd. Well, because it's like a dog or a cat will have food in their bowl, but they'll want the whole thing. They don't want just what they got in their bowl. Bella, you got food, woman. Well, it is a typical female, though. Hey, it is a typical female. You know, even females are like that too. If you know what I mean, right? That I have the females are just like that. Like you gonna eat those fries? So anyway, I'm sitting there playing, and it guides you through. It shows you what the kitchen's like. It shows you what the bathroom's like, what the upper floors are used for. Shows you the god of the household. Shows you the altars, like the courtyard where they have like the open courtyard with the top open and stuff. You know, it's really cool. And now I'm going somewhere else to go. I'm doing another tour. There's 11 tours. Yeah, and you just go through and learn about stuff, and then that way it kind of helps you get into the game because I played this before. Yeah, and so I didn't. Yeah, so now I'm just doing the discovery tour. Now he's not answering his fucking phone. Yeah. I texted him. No, because I know his schedule like the back of my hand. I know for the fact that he's not busy right now. But today probably not. He's probably been laying around. He's gonna go work tomorrow. He works in the college. You know that, right? Yeah, because they're getting ready to implement that track program, so he's going to be coach for that. So yeah, man, I'm kind of pissed. If I didn't have to work that day, we could have went to that. Went to the Libel thing for when they got his statue. You go to the statue for the ceremony. Well, that's weird. Yeah, I wasn't at work that day. Cool. Yeah, I'm here. I'm putting the trash can in. The trash line right now. Man, these damn glads, man, are tiny. These glad, the Force Flex ones, they're super tiny. They're smaller than I thought. I thought that I got the wrong trash bag. No, we're 13 gallons. Tall kitchen bags, yeah, like you know what it is. So I bought me some toilet. So I bought me some. Yeah, so I bought. So I bought. Yeah. So I bought me some toilet paper today. I went and looked at the prices. Holy shit, it's expensive. It's like gold. Not everything. Not everything. I found some cheap stuff the other day. Like some Tyson chicken sandwiches. Those are so good. But I guess I'll call and talk to you before tonight, so because I figured I'd call you just before you go to bed. I know what you're doing. I figured when I called you last, yeah, I figured that. So he's probably at Steph's house. So go to sleep. Well, if I think about it, and I'm not, something doesn't come up Saturday, I'll be up there at the banquet.
Okay.
I got 7 or 8 other people that are possibly going to be heading up there. Just,
Like I said, but
I know, feel like it anymore. Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter to me whether you do or don't. I'll be up there anyways. You'll be there in spirit. But like most of, but I got like 7 or 8 people that like I told about it and they're coming to my line. They're possibly going to be up there too. Tickets are like $10, aren't they?
no,
What are they?
they're like 65 for a couple, 50 for a single.
$50.
Yeah.
I forgot. That's right. Yeah, I was right.
Yep. I think that's still how it is.
I'll find out when I get up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 65. That means one of them can win. That means one person gets in for $15.
Yeah, that we get
That's what we did that one year, wasn't it? We came as a couple, didn't we?
membership with it too.
Huh?
Yeah, your membership with it too.
Which I think is like, what, like $45 or something like that?
Uh,
30 or $40, I think, a membership. Memberships. Well, I know the membership's 50. Yeah.
it comes with the meal too.
I know.
And your membership.
Do you happen to remember how much the bundle of tickets was in the plastic bags?
So
Because I was going to see if I could, because if I have enough money, I might buy me that plastic bag.
it's like I think $100.
But yeah, well, if I have enough money this weekend,
I think it's like $150 or something.
a ticket, so
Yeah.
about like 150, so because there's at least like 160 tickets in there.
Yeah, if you get that bag, you can pick everything. You can pick whatever you want.
You basically just get free reign all the games.
Yeah. You get free reign.
Well, I'm going to hopefully have enough money to get that bag so I can do that one and done.
Yeah.
That would be cool if I want to gun, right?
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have enough money. Well, I only have to have a little. That's what I'm gonna do.
Buy the tickets.
Yep. Buy that bag. Try to win that bag.
Try to win that bag.
Bag of tickets.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did I tell you what I bought?
What?
I bought a color changing light bulb.
You did?
Yeah. I bought one.
I don't remember you telling me that, but
I bought an EcoSmart different, it's a white light bulb, but it changes the different settings of white.
oh, it does.
Yeah, you can change it to like you can do soft white, bright oil white, true white, cool white, and daylight. And it's a dusk to dawn light too.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so when the sun comes up, it goes off, which won't happen in this house.
Yeah.
So I put it in my lamp. Yeah. It's got a sensor up there somewhere, I think. But it's really cool. I turn it to that. I turn it to like the call it daylight, cool white, blue light, and then true light, and true light. Well, I gotta figure it out. Yeah. So it's between 3,000 and 4,000 Ks. Yeah, it's really nice. Really, really brings out the thing. Oh, by the way, you know what we have at work now? A color light. This is like a true color light, like a light that it brings out the true color of the color when you paint. Color match light for what they call it. Oh, and by the way, I did go out to Louisville last night. Yeah. Ain't nothing changed. Pretty much exactly. Pretty much exactly the same, but behind the bar, they got more room behind the bar. They've got more. They got a little extension out the bar now. Yeah, and then they've got one pool table. Yeah. They had two. They got rid of one. They got rid of one. I don't know why. I still have my chips from when they burned. Yeah, I'm probably gonna see if I can use them. Say, do you guys still take these things? I got 2 free beers here. I had 2 beers and then I left. What? What'd you say? Did you call me a cunt? Did you call me a cunt? Sound like you said cunt under your breath. Like he only drank 2 beers? Cunt. He ain't spit instead of. Alright, I'll let you finish your thing, alright? Alright guys, sorry about that. I just had to call my buddy to talk to him for just a minute.
Ah, my friend! How fortuitous to run into you in this most intoxicating place! I'd offer you a drink, but for some reason the workers won't let me borrow any of their wine. Cheapskates. Why, I'm Marcos, of course, one of the most successful merchants in all of Greece. You really haven't heard of me? My name is known from Kefalonia to Kos. If you've ever paid money for something, I probably received a percentage. But enough about me. Let's go back to what you're doing here. You know, I once started my own wine business on Kos. It hit a bit of a snag when my investors, 3 brothers calling themselves the Cerberos, suddenly lost faith in me. From then on, the streets of Kos overflowed with wine, and my purse overflowed with drachmi. Very sad about the Cerberus, though. Couldn't have happened to nicer people. As you can probably tell by all the grapes, this is one of Greece's many vineyards. Wine was an essential part of Greek culture, and this tour will take you through how it was made. In addition to being delicious, not to mention lucrative, wine was an important part of Greek economy. I promise I'll meet you at the end of your visit, my friend. See you soon!
Here we go.
Winemaking dates back to the 4th or 3rd millennium BCE. It became widespread in Greece during the Bronze Age, and within centuries the Greeks had refined it further. The first step in the process was always harvesting, where grapes grown on rows of vines were collected by vineyard workers. According to Homer, harvesting was often accompanied by music to give it a more festive atmosphere. Ancient Greek wine mainly came in 3 different varieties: Osteros, Glucathion, and Autokratos. It could be flavored with spices, herbs, resin, and even perfume.
Really?
It was also much water wine, with an alcohol percentage of approximately 16%. Because
Lord.
of this, the drink was mixed with water to make it more palatable.
Yeah, because Steel Hammer's only 12. I will say that. This says that I've finished that one. Oh, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that a... No? Oh, there's no...
Grapes were dried to maximize the wine's sweetness and prevent it from turning into vinegar. In most vineyards, the drying process involved laying the grapes out on the ground under the heat of the sun, then covering them at night to protect them from accumulating dew. According to Hesiod's poem, Works and Days, the ideal time to dry grapes was 10 days and 10 nights. When they were finally completely dried, the grapes were collected in jars, just as they are today. The Greeks had many methods for crushing the harvested grapes. The most common technique was to use a lenos, a large treading vat where workers stomped on grapes with their feet. Alternatively, the Greeks sometimes crushed the grapes by hand using a strainer, mashed them with a mortar and pestle, or squeezed them using a tool called a sack press. After the grapes were pressed, the resulting juice was poured into large containers called pithoi, where it fermented. Once fully fermented, the wine was filtered through an ethmos, or sack, which separated it from the residual yeast called lees. The wine was then placed in a special storage room. The room was half buried to keep it dry and maintain a consistent temperature of 15 degrees Celsius. These measures ensured the wine wouldn't lose any of its quality before being shipped to market. When the wine was ready to ship, it was poured into storage containers called amphoras. These were smaller than pithoi, which made them easier to ship and display in crowded marketplaces. However, that doesn't mean transporting wine was always a safe endeavor. Sometimes ships carrying amphoras as cargo would be wrecked before making it to their destination, losing hundreds of bottles of wine to the sea.
Ah, my friend, are you drunk with knowledge? I hope you enjoyed yourself learning about all the picking, stumping, and bottling that goes into making Greece's favorite beverage. Maybe if my customers understood how hard winemaking was, they'd agree more with my perfectly reasonable prices. But let's talk about something else, yes? What else can I do for you? You want your intelligence tested? Well, let me tell you, my friend, no one is more qualified for that task than me. Let's get started. What container was used to ship wine to the market? Yes, wine was stored in amphoras during its long journey to market. Here's another question. Which of the following wasn't a type of wine variety? Correct! Thasos was an island famous for its vineyards, not a specific type of wine.
Thasos.
Just one more question to go, my friend. Which part of the winemaking process created the grape juice necessary for wine? That's the one! The harvested grapes were pressed in a linos, often by the feet of vineyard workers. Just try not to think about that last part whenever you have a cup of wine.
Oh.
You know your wine. You're as good with facts as I am with money, and that's really saying something. such an enterprising spirit. I like that. Follow me, my friend.
Okay, so we finished second one. There are 11 of these. Are you kidding me? Hearings and trials were held in Athens for inanimate objects that had caused death. Oh my. Wait a minute.
Διαμοίραζε βραχή με τα κλίματα πολέμων. Απόλεσα τον οίκον την αιστείαν. Οι πειρατέα πεπειράθησαν να ντραποδίζουνε. Πού κέχουνε ότι
Wanderer, I have a special visit planned for you today. It's an intimate, informative look into the daily lives of Greek women. It's amazing what women could accomplish while men spend all day trying to out-debate each other at assembly meetings. Their work should be far more appreciated on the whole, but we're going to acknowledge that now.
Cool.
My name is Aspasia, though I am not.
I didn't know you could look at that. Okay, I didn't know you could look at that again. So, let me go turn my light off real quick. Turn my lights off because I need to be dark. I'm gonna turn off my white light. Okay. I'll be right back, guys. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Corinth was one of the largest cities in ancient Greece. It had an estimated population of 90,000 in my times, and much of that population was made up of women. This tour will shine a light on those women and look at how they lived on a day-to-day basis. Look for me when you're done with your visit, and we can discuss things further.
Young girls growing up in ancient Greek cities were usually raised by a nurse. They mostly stayed in the women's quarters of the house, the gunaikon, where they spent their time spinning threads and weaving. While there is not much historical evidence of young girls at play, especially compared to boys, it was still known to happen. For example, an ancient terracotta group depicts two girls playing ephedrismos. This was a competition to see who could strike an upright rock from afar using a pebble or ball. The game's loser had to close their eyes and carry the victor until they managed to touch the same rock with their hands.
What in the world do you mean by that? Okay.
For a young Greek woman, marriage was the culmination of their induction into society. The average life expectancy for women was about 40 years, so most marriages took place when the bride was 14 or 15 years old. The marriage did not require her consent either. Instead, she was passed on from the protection of her father to that of her husband. Married women were not technically citizens at the time and lacked the rights that came with official citizenship. However, they did receive a dowry that only they were allowed to spend. But in the event of a failed marriage, the dowry was returned to the bride's father. After the marriage was consummated, the woman's status changed from being a maiden to a bride. She remained a bride until the birth of her first child, wherein she officially became a woman.
Δίνανε στη βολή μία όρνηθα πριν ειδήν μία σφαίρα ιούσα. Μία όρνηθα. Την ηλιπτέων αυτή τη σφαίρα και καταχώνησιν εν το προκτό σου.
Jacob and Medea. Yeah, hey.
Women living in ancient Greek cities were essentially forbidden from participating in political life, and most aspects of their lives were controlled by men. Their most important responsibilities were running the household and giving birth to children, preferably boys. Most of the time, women's excursions outside of the house were limited to visiting other female neighbors, as per custom. The few exceptions to this strict rule were weddings, funerals, and religious festivals involving women in prominent public roles.
Is it not? Let's check mark this one. That's been done. Let's see. That's been done, okay. Let's see notes here, okay. So we're gonna go ahead this way. Get off the rock. Still tight rope, Rod. Okay.
Making textiles was the main occupation of most Greek women. It was a woman's responsibility to manufacture clothing for each of her family members, as well as to weave other household textiles. Women with exceptional weaving skills were believed to make excellent wives, and weaving in general was seen as a very attractive quality. For example, Homer describes Odysseus's devoted wife Penelope as spending most of her days weaving at the loom. Similarly, many Greek vases depicting women weaving were combined with images of a woman holding a veil, which was seen as the symbol of a bride. Ancient Greek women cooked in their house's kitchen area. However, since their cooking equipment was small and portable, they also sometimes prepared meals in the central courtyard. This was also where women performed other domestic activities. These activities were rarely seen by visiting men or passers-by, because the architecture of classical Greek houses facilitated the social norm that women should never be seen at work.
I like that idea, though. There she is. Are we gonna go or what?
The historian Strabo relays that the Temple of Aphrodite was one of Corinth's most famous landmarks. This was largely due to the temple's female patrons. These hetairai, as they were called, were donated to the goddess by both men and women. According to Strabo, the Temple of Aphrodite
I would say this is probably the most prominent one.
contributed greatly to Corinth's wealth. The hetairai were the temple's main attraction, and many visitors came to Corinth in search of their company, for which they spent frequently and frivolously.
Your horse! Sorry, lady.
Hello again, Wanderer. I hope your visit was an interesting one. Greek women lived very restricted lives compared to men, but throughout it all, they held on to their strength and dignity. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Feeling up for a test? Excellent. Let's begin with an easier question. What was the name of the women's quarters in a Greek home? Correct. The gynekon was where young girls spent their days weaving and spinning threads. On to the next question. The Corinthian temple said to employ the Hetera was dedicated to which god?
Aphrodite. Oh, where is it? There she is.
Correct. Aphrodite was the goddess of love and passion.
Aphrodite.
So it's only fitting her temple served such an amorous purpose. We're almost done. Just one more
Prostitutes, huh?
question. What was
Okay.
the name of Odysseus' wife?
Odysseus.
Yes, Penelope was Odysseus' loyal wife, who kept
Loyal?
at her weaving while
He was
waiting
beyond
for her
that.
husband to return from war. You passed the test, Wanderer. Congratulations. Of course. Let's see what Greece has in store for you.
Okay. I don't know. take you. I like her. She's so...
Greetings, wanderer, and welcome to the Acropolis, the shining jewel of Athens. Personally, I think the Acropolis is one of, if not the, greatest place in all of Greece. Though, considering it was the project of my partner, Pericles, I may be a touch biased.
I would say so.
The Acropolis of Athens is a bastion of art and culture worthy of the gods themselves. Within this citadel, you will find many important sacred buildings, as well as some of the most magnificent art in all of Greece.
I'm looking forward to this one. This is
You
my
are
favorite.
in for a very enlightening visit. When you're done, come find me, and we can discuss the things you have seen. Farewell for now.
The Acropolis has gone through many changes in its long history. It began as a simple rock, was settled as early as the Neolithic period, and then became a fortress in the Mycenaean period. Stone buildings started appearing in the 7th century BCE. But the famous structures whose ruins remain visible today date mainly from a period of construction in the 5th century BCE. The location of the Acropolis is closely tied with Athens' foundation myth. Supposedly, it was the site where Athena and Poseidon competed for the city's patronage. This connection gave the Acropolis a sacred aura, and it was considered the religious heart of the city.
Oh, I already did this one. Yeah, see. Oh, good. Yeah, I already did that one. I kind of did the tour by myself. Oops. Hey, you're over here. Kind of did part of the tour by myself.
The Temple of Athena Nike was built on the remains of old fortifications from the Mycenaean era.
Her last name is Nike? I did not know that.
Worship at the temple can be traced back to the 6th century BCE, but the building itself was destroyed during the Greco-Persian Wars a century later. It was rebuilt during the Peloponnesian War. Given that the name Athena Nike roughly means Athena of victory, it was likely constructed in the hopes that Athens would win the war. Unusually, the temple depicts historical scenes of battles against the Persians instead of the more mythologically inclined art of other Greek buildings. The temple's priestess was chosen randomly among the Athenians and received a salary of 50 drachmae annually, along with skins and trophies from sacrificed animals.
Where do I go now? I'm sorry.
Μετά μπει παριστάνε το άλγος αυτόν.
Oh, I
Ή
go
αλλού
back around,
ευρίσκεται
okay.
η γνώσης ή μη πάρεξ ότι ο εχέφρον ούκ επενεργεί επικλαυσμός και οδυρμών, αλλά επί των δεδομένων.
The Acropolis was built up over a long period, due in no small part to its partial destruction during the Greco-Persian Wars. It was in the 5th century BCE, though, that the Acropolis received its most significant improvements. This period was an extremely prosperous time for Athens, both financially and culturally. With a booming economy bolstered by trade and the Lavrion silver mines, Pericles, the leader of Athens, financed a huge project to rebuild the citadel. He enlisted the help of renowned artists like the sculptor Phidias, as well as the architects Iktinos and Callicrates. Together, they erected buildings like the Parthenon and the Propylaea Gateway. Pericles' goal was to make the Acropolis into a glorious monument to the gods and to mortal Athenians.
See if we can see where it lands. We can't see where it lands. Dang it! I don't know whether I can jump off of it in there. Nine. We're running. Oh, did I do this one? I did. There it is. That's me, it's okay.
Behind the Propylaea was the giant bronze statue of Athena Promachos, or Athena who fights on the front lines. That name was reflected in the spear and shield the statue held in its hands. It was erected in the mid-5th century BCE by the artist Phidias. According to an inscription, it took 9 years to make and cost almost 500,000 drachmae. At approximately 10 meters tall, the statue was apparently so large that Pausanias claimed its helmet and spear tip could be seen from the sea near Cape Sunion, 60 kilometers away. The ornamentation on the statue's shield was engraved by the metalsmith Mies.
Where's my... Oh, I lost my line. I lost my line!
The Araphoroi were young girls between the ages of 7 and 11 who were in charge of special rites. A list of 4 girls was drafted by the Assembly of Citizens, from which the High Magistrate, the Archon Basileus, chose 2 to serve as Araphoroi for the year. The girls lived in a house on the Acropolis. They were in charge of carrying sacred objects and weaving the peplos of Athena. The peplos was a sacred robe offered to Athena during Panathenaea, a festival held in her honor.
Yup. Wait, is there 2 more? Whoa, there's a whole bunch of them over here. Alright, hold on, I gotta look and see here. Let's go ahead and go in here. There's one here, I know there's one here. The tree of Athena, okay. That's beautiful. Okay, we go up. Here's this one. Oh, wow, that's cool. Then we have one more. Yeah. Okay. We run out, we go up, we go over, we go in, down the stairs, around this way. Nope, sorry. Didn't mean to hit you. I'm sorry. There's another one. Ha 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 ha. There's another one over here.
Ναι, οι θεοί βασιλεύουν συνάνωθεν.
Ο πατήρ μου λέγει ότι τη νύχτα...
Τι άραγε να λες.
Επικαλούμεσαι, μάγα, πολιόνιμε, πυρίπολε και τελετάρχα, θεό, πάτερ, ιδέ και ιε, σκυπτούσε, όλε δημάτων.
Βασιλεύει μόλις.
Για τον κομμόν, ενθέ, μάγα, μίστε συμβρίων και χαριμένος εΐ.
Where's the next one? There it is, right there. Okay. Are we done? I think we finished everything now. Oh, there's another one somewhere. I'll go find it real quick. Get out the way. Get out the way. What?
The Erechtheion was an atypical temple. The Erechtheion was an atypical temple. It was dedicated not only to Athena Polias, but also to Cecrops, the mythical founder of Athens, his son Erechtheos, and even Poseidon, the sea god who challenged Athena for possession of the city. The temple was divided into sections. The eastern part housed a statue dedicated to Athena, while it was dedicated not only to Athena Polias, but also to the temple was the eastern part housed under the temple was a crypt. The snakes may have had a...
Well, you would think. I think I gotta go this way, huh?
Παριστάνε το άλογο σε αυτόν. Τι αλλού ευρίσκεται η γνώση της και μη πάρεξ ότι ο εχέφρον πρέπει να έρθει επικλάδο. Μόνος έτσι ως περκύπερο.
Sweet. Let me go back to where I left off here. We go up here, we come up here, okay, go up the stairs, over to the left. I don't know where we're at exactly, where we left off. Down the stairs, because we came through here again. Here's the next one. Hey! Well, I did end up going and doing the right one. I thought I did. Hold on. The hell? Takes me over a bush. Because we already did that one, so that one's good. Now I gotta go run over here, okay. Get up over a bush. Where are we going? Damn! Cool. Oh, there's another one. There's another thing over here somewhere. There it is. Oh. There it is.
The Parthenon is one of the most well-known buildings in the world, and an enduring symbol of ancient Greek civilization. While it is located on the Acropolis, the building is not a traditional temple. It was built by the sculptor Phidias and the architects Callicrates and Ictinus as a great monument to the glory of the city of Athens. That glory is evident in its many carvings. One of the most carved monuments in Greek architecture, the Parthenon's decorations depict several mythological scenes. These include the birth of Athena, her fight against Poseidon for the patronage of Athens, the gods' battle with the giants, and the procession of the great Panathenaea.
Wait a minute, there's more. see, there's more.
Η τραγωδία κινείται μεταξύ τριών βαθμίδων.
Yeah, I'm using it. Whoa.
So proud of those born to be smart.
What? Has it come? What is this? Hold on. I'm gonna find out what this is. I want to find out what this is. Oh. Not yet. Can we climb up to the top of this and get up there really fast? I think I'm going to do it this way. It'd be easier anyway. There we go. We're almost there. Can I go up this way? Yeah, I think so. I think so. It's nice. Oh, okay. Alright, now which way we gotta go? Let's see. We're alright, yeah. Cool. There is still one more somewhere. I keep seeing this thing. Oh, it's down here. I would say probably. Yeah. This one? No, it's not that one. It's the next one over, I think. I just went by, I think. What is it? Where is it? Oh, it's inside. Okay. Alright, I didn't know. It's inside somewhere. Let's go and find it here. Go inside. Where is it? There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Wah! It's us.
The Parthenon's inner chamber, or cella, contained a massive statue of Athena that was considered to be one of the sculptor Phidias's greatest masterpieces. The statue was chryselephantine, a combination of gold and ivory. To justify the steep cost of its construction, Pericles told Athenians that the statue was a gold reserve, which could be disassembled in times of economic distress. The cella also allegedly contained a pool, whose main purpose was to control the room's humidity, which helped preserve the statue's ivory.
εγώ είμαι αυτό.
Μεγαλώνει με θεά, αγλαότονε, τεχνών μύτηρ πολύολβε, πολυλίστη λυτήρα κακών, ιστρούσα πρωτών σοφά,
Enjoy your visit. I will see you soon.
Athens' treasury was located in the Parthenon, where it was believed to be protected by Athena herself. The treasury contained objects of great value, acquired from different conquests, as well as a mass of minted silver coins and various offerings to Athena. Pericles also decided to move the entirety of the Delian League's treasure to the Parthenon in 454 BCE. This was a great testament to Athens' power over the rest of Greece. The riches were divided into two parts, the Demosia, which belonged to the city, and the Hiera Cremata, which was dedicated to the goddess and only used for religious purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you think of the Acropolis? It truly is quite something, isn't it? A sacred sanctuary and an architectural marvel, all in one. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. You're confident enough for a test? Very well. Let us see how much you know. Which two gods competed for Athens' patronage? Correct. It was Poseidon and Athena who fought for Athens' patronage. As for who won, the answer is in the city's name. On to the next question.
Yep.
Who sculpted the statue of Athena in the Parthenon? Correct. The renowned sculptor Phidias made the statue, which was considered one of his masterpieces. And now, the final question. Which king's tomb was believed to be under the Caryatid porch? That is correct. Cecrops was the mythological first king of Athens, and his tomb was said to be under the Erechtheion. It seems you know much about this place. Well done, Wanderer.
Thank you. Now take me to another...
Very well. On to the next tour.
Yes, we go. We are already played like 2 hours of this, and we still haven't even got to the game yet. Because we're doing the Discovery Tour first. We got 11 deal. I think I've done 4 or 5 of them by now.
Welcome, traveler, to the ruins of Mykine. My name is Herodotus, and I am a traveler from Halicarnassus. I retrace the cause of various events, such as wars and great calamities. I describe what I see and record what I'm told, all with the aim of providing a better understanding of why these things occur. Look for me to introduce you to many sites. It is humbling to stand in the remnants of such a great civilization. Looking at these ruins, I am reminded that the past is never as far behind us as we think. These are the ruins of Mykene, center of the old Mykenian civilization. It was home to great warriors and heroes. In many ways, places like Athens and Sparta stand on the shoulders of its accomplishments. This tour
Only 6 of
will
them, okay.
take you through its ruins and introduce you to its most important monuments, revealing its history in the process. I hope you enjoy yourself. I'll be waiting for you at the end of your visit.
The Mycenaean civilization flourished in the Late Bronze Age between 1600 and 1200 BCE. During this period, it was mainly located in the Peloponnese and central Greece. Mycenaeans were known for exploring distant lands. Notably, they battled the Hittite allied city of Walusa in a conflict that was believed to be the inspiration for Homer's Trojan War. But the Mycenaean people didn't only travel to fight. They learned much from their neighbors, the Minoans of Crete, such as how to write syllabic script on clay tablets. Such tablets provide evidence that Mycenaeans spoke an early form of Greek. They also tell of how great Mycenaean kings ruled over their warriors from opulent palaces in places like Mycenae, Thebes, and Knossos. The entrance to Agamemnon's citadel, or the Lion Gate, is one of the most iconic monuments in Mycenae. It is impressive for both its height and for the intimidating rendering on its relief, which depicts two lions standing on either side of a column. Unfortunately, the lions' heads, which were presumably made of a precious metal or higher quality stone, have been lost to time. The gate was most likely meant to greet a triumphant king returning home from successful military campaigns and to awe foreign visitors. When these shafts were discovered by archaeologist Heinrich Schliemann in 1876, he believed the 6 gold-filled graves to be connected with the family of the great king Agamemnon, even going so far as to proclaim a gold mask he found within to be the death mask of Agamemnon. However, this was refuted by later excavations, which showed that the 19 bodies buried in the shafts dated back to a few hundred years before Agamemnon was even born. In fact, at the time of the body's burial, the Lion Gate and the citadel walls had not even been built yet. It's estimated that the people in the graves were members of the first Mycenaean dynasty. The graves later became a place of worship for Mycenaean kings, who raised walls to protect them. These walls helped preserve several incredible artifacts, including women's jewelry, death masks, and masterfully crafted weapons. By 1250 BCE, Mycenae was at the height of its power, and its living quarters and workshops were numerous. Houses were built everywhere, from the top of the palace's hill near the king's residence, to the slopes and terraces within the walls, to the nearby hills outside the citadel. At one point, the citadel's walls even had to be enlarged to make room for more quarters. The people who lived inside the citadel were those with high status in either the military, religious, or administrative sectors of the kingdom. This is reflected by the ceramic and metal vessels inside the houses, as well as their painted plastered walls. A traveler seeking an audience with the king would have first ascended a steep ramp from the Lion Gate to the citadel's summit. Here, they would have walked into the palatial complex through a grand entrance called the Propylon. Once inside, their gaze would immediately be drawn to the palace's main hall, a monumental area known as the Megaron. The vividly decorated Megaron, which glittered with precious objects and colorful frescoes in its heyday, was where the king would have received the traveler. If the king was feeling generous, he would have shared with the visitor the palace's most marvelous feature, its commanding and majestic view, which stretched from the plain of Argolis to the gleaming Aegean Sea. It was in this palace where a legendary Mycenaean king like Agamemnon would have held court. According to Homer and other poets, Agamemnon led the Greeks in the sack of Troy. Stories say that he was a fearsome warrior on par with Achilles, but also an overly ambitious and arrogant ruler. He sacrificed his own daughter, Iphigenia, to convince Artemis to grant his ship's passage to Troy. After conquering the city, he returned to Mycenae with mounds of riches, and a Trojan named Cassandra as his concubine. Agamemnon's wife, Clytemnestra, was not pleased with her husband's sacrifice of their daughter. She plotted to murder her husband out of anger. The plot was successful, and, depending on the version of the story, Agamemnon was either murdered in his bath by Clytemnestra or killed by his cousin Aegisthus during a banquet.
I'd probably say it was the first one.
You've completed the tour. I trust it was an eye-opening experience. Though it did not last, Mycenae was a sort of precursor to what would eventually become the Greek civilization we know today. It's important we remember them, if only to avoid repeating their mistakes. Now, what else would you like to do? Then let's begin. First, I have quite a simple question. Which ancient city may have been the inspiration for Homer's depiction of Troy? Knossos was the supposed site of the legendary Minotaur, although I am either way. No, the Thebes played an important. Yes, the Mycenaeans' conflict with the city of Wilusa alleged. Now for the second question. Agamemnon sacrificed his daughter Iphigenia to convince which god to allow him to proceed to Troy? Yes, Agamemnon sacrificed Iphigenia to reconcile with Artemis, who then allowed his ships to pass to Troy. Now, one last question. What was the name of Agamemnon's Trojan concubine? Correct. Following the sack of Troy, Agamemnon sailed home with the Trojan prophetess named Cassandra. You've studied the ruins well, traveler. I appreciate your desire for more knowledge. Let us continue.
I think we might just go ahead and stop here maybe on this one.
Welcome, friend, to this especially sacred part of the Olympian sanctuary. My name is Barnabas, and I am a ship captain. Don't be fooled by my scarred eye. Though I've seen my share of combat, I mostly stick to trading these days. Well, trading and introducing visitors like you to wonderful sights like this. This place is practically vibrating with divine energy. I feel like if I look over my shoulder right now, Zeus will be staring back at me. The sanctuary of Olympia was dedicated to Zeus, king of the gods. It had close connections to the divine, as you will see very soon. I'll come find you when you're done, and we can talk about what you've learned.
This workshop was built for the renowned sculptor Phidias after his work on the Acropolis of Athens. In 435 BCE, Phidias came to Olympia to begin working on the great chryselephantine statue of Zeus. He died 5 years later, shortly after completing his masterpiece. This grand statue would become one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Phidias's workshop was located right next to the Temple of Zeus. Its structure has been well preserved, mostly owing to its conversion to a church in the 5th century CE. Archaeologists have also discovered lots of ancient materials in the surrounding area, such as casting molds and sculpting tools. The most famous artifact, however, is a cup bearing an inscription that aggressively states, "I belong to Phidias." On the 5th and final day of the Olympic Games, victors attended a ceremony where they were crowned with olive wreaths and showered in flowers. The crowns came from the sacred olive tree of Zeus, which was planted near the god's temple. A young boy trimmed the branches with a golden sickle before giving them to the Hellanodikai to turn into wreaths. After the crowning ceremony, time for great feasting and celebration.
Σπανιωτάτικια, νεαρέ.
Wait.
Υπερήφανο σημειά θεωρών σας.
Awesome like that. Watch out, sir.
Τραγωδία ανέρεσης εστί. Εστί μιας ασχολία την αβεβαίω. Είναι η νίκη στα γέννη και δυσκόλυκα πολλώνε. Ίστα έχω ευκολία και ο πατή μου έλεγε δείτε
Η χαρακτήσον αρκαθεύω. Σπανιωτάτη διάφτη η νυχή του Ανδρέα.
Ήθε το κρατήσω ή ευλογήσεσαι και την πόλη σου άφασα.
Στρούσαυρωτών ψυχάς, Σύθεα, δώσ' ειρήνην πολύολβων και χώρων υγιείαν, επεφόλβησιν εν ώρες, λαυκό ευρεσίτεχνε, πολυλίστη βασίλεια.
Κλέπτη οικίας.
Κοσμήματα δυνάμενος φέρει μες στο άρτιον τμήμα, αλλά εμπόρου δείτε ή μεταπράξεις απολύσει. Περιτείνων κοσμημάτων συμμιλέγεις, ποιος ο κίνδυνος, σκηθικών εμπόρων, μία τριακάδα αγελάδων, περιφέρειας λεκτά, λεπτέστικα.
So it's indoors.
Πολιώνυμε, πυρίπολε και τελετάρχα, Θεόν πάτερη δε και ιέ, Υπητούχε, κούρε δημάτορ, Ποτριόκος εωτικές των κομμών, Ελθέ, Μάκα, μίστε Κυρίων και
Wait, let's try. This is not the right. Yeah, okay, so it is. Okay, well, I had to figure out where we were at exactly because I didn't want to. Okay. Did I miss one? I did. It's like straight ahead.
Pelops was both a legendary Greek hero and the mythical founder of the Olympic Games. According to legend, Pelops fell in love with the beautiful Hippodamia. Her father, Oinomaos, the king of Pisa, disapproved of their union. Having once heard a prophecy that he would be killed by his son-in-law, Oinomaos was known to challenge his daughter's suitors to chariot races, killing them when he won. Still, Pelops was determined to win Hippodamia's heart. Before the race, he enlisted the help of Poseidon, who gave him a golden chariot with 4 winged horses. Pelops was able to win both the race and the hand of his beloved, while Oinomaos was dragged to death by his horses. The start of this famous race was depicted on the eastern pediment of the Temple of Zeus.
Yep.
Ξένος, πίστα όταν η μύτη κλινήρης. Ποιος περσέ. Καλώνει και πολιώνει. Καλώνει και πολιώνει στον φινά.
That's fucking cool. Love it, love it, love it. What? We gotta wait? Okay. It took a little longer than I thought it would. More of like a repressing matter, but that's not gonna be too bad. That's an all-time thing in the game.
The Heraion was a temple dedicated to Hera. It is one of the oldest temples in the sanctuary, dating back to approximately 590 BCE. The structure included columns painted with images of women who won the Heraia, an athletic competition made up of running events. Every 4 years, 16 women were chosen to make a veil dedicated to Hera. These women also organized the competition, though they did not compete in it. The Heraia was unique for its focus on female athletes, in contrast to the male-exclusive Olympic Games.
Wait, let's check and see. There's one. Here, I see this one.
Κατέχεις ωραίων δρυμούς, ελθέ θεά σώτηρα, άγουσα καλούς καρπούς από γέης ειρήνην τερατήν, καλυπλόκαμον θυγίαν και ο θεά εύδρομε, πέμπης της ωραίων κεφαλάς, νόσουστε και άλγη.
Καλυπλόκαμον θυγίαν και ο θεά εύδρομε, πέμπης της ωραίων κεφαλάς, νόσουστε και άλγη.
Hera was the goddess of women, marriage, family, and childbirth. She ruled Mount Olympus as Queen of the Gods, along with her husband and brother Zeus. Many mythological stories paint her as being annoyed at Zeus's many lovers and illegitimate offspring. In Greek art, Hera is usually depicted as matronly and regal, often wearing a crown or sitting on a throne. She is also sometimes seen holding a pomegranate, a symbol of both fertility and death. Hera's cult was very popular across Greece.
Okay.
And Olympia even minted
I like
her
pomegranate.
image on its coinage.
The fruit and the drink. Okay, so then we just make a loop. Go woo-ah. Okay, now we go back down. We got 4 more. And we take it this route. Is there another? I think I got the one that was in there. So let's see. Sorry, guys. There's 19 home. There's a. Oh, I said there's something up here, guys. Sorry, guys. Let me see. Here. There we go. Is it right here? Wait, I can't figure out where I'm supposed to go. Oh, it's already gone. It was the altar of Zeus. That's right. I had to look at the altar of Zeus. Yes, I see. Now in the middle of a ring. I'm kind of scared here.
One of the highlights of the Olympic Games was a ceremony that took place on the 3rd day of the festival. It began with a procession of athletes, ambassadors, Hellenodikai, and animals. The group made their way around the Altis until they arrived at the Temple of Zeus. Then the animals were brought in front of the altar of Zeus and offered as a sacrifice. This sacrifice was known as a hecatome, a word that originally described the sacrifice of 100 oxen. During the hecatome, the bones and legs of the animals were burned and carried to the top of a mound of ashes from previous sacrifices. Meanwhile, the meat of the animals was saved for a large banquet held later in the evening.
Yep. We run up here. Alright, around your real deal. Hooga, lego hooga. Wait. There he's down there, so I'm almost done. Hey, whoa.
The Olympic Games were dedicated to Zeus, and all the ceremonies and events were hosted in his honor. It is no surprise that the largest temple in the sanctuary was the Temple of Zeus. While most temples were restricted to priests, the Temple of Zeus welcomed all who visited Olympia. This openness was most likely meant to show off the gold and ivory statue of Zeus that stood within the temple's walls. The building also featured art depicting both versions of the Olympic festival's founding myth. The eastern pediment showed a scene from the legendary race between Pelops and Oinomaos. The temple's metapiece, meanwhile, showed the 12 labors of Heracles, the other mythical founder of the games.
Let me check something real quick, guys. I want to see something.
Zeus was the god of sky and thunder, and king of the Olympians. He ruled the world from his home on Mount Olympus. The child of Cronus the Titan, Zeus overthrew his father and cast the Titans out in a great battle.
So that's exactly why Kronos is named in Valhalla. If so named in God of War. Yeah! Huh? Because Zeus's daddy! Zeus's daddy was the man, apparently, and gave birth to one of the most powerful gods of all time. This is why I love ancient Rome and ancient Greece mythology. Both of them are amazing in history. That's why I love these two civilizations. These are my two favorite civilizations in all the world. Now when it comes to more modern things like my favorite country to learn about is England. The United Kingdom, more like it, and Northern Ireland. I would probably say that's probably one of my favorite modern things, but ancient is Greece, because I have several games that are Greece based, like Civilization's one of them. I have all of the God of Wars. I played all the God of Wars. I love. One of my favorite ancient civilizations of all time. My top three would be Greece, Rome, and Norse mythology. Would be my three favorite mythologies in the world. Hopefully, you guys are getting all this and listening and learning about this stuff. This is like a crash course in Greece right here. For me, I had to redo it all over again because when I first got the game, when it first came out, 2016 I think it was. Oh man, I was off for like 4 days straight. I sat here for a day and a half, literally sitting in my chair, getting ready to playing this game. Now I gotta go to the bathroom real quick, guys. I want to see how far we have come real quick. Hold on. Let me see what we got here. Or how long has our broadcast been? Does not say. So we're gonna go here. Not audio settings. Go. Advanced. Played for almost 2 hours. Awesome. I gotta go to the bathroom again, guys. I'm drinking a lot of Dr. Pepper lately. Well, we played for almost 2 hours. So what time is it now? Is it? I need to change that. I'll change at the bottom here. Probably Dynasty Warriors, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it was, I think. Oh, guess what? What are you doing? Okay, so we've been playing for almost 2 full hours. What time is it? 10:02. Jesus, we've been playing for 2 hours almost. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and...
As the Titanomachy. He had children of his own with his wife Hera.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I don't like it. There it is.
Including Ares, Hephaestus, Hebe, and Eileithyia. He also had many children without Hera, much to her consternation, but there are too many to list here. Zeus was believed to have control over the lives of mortals, as his many epithets attest to. For example, his title Horkios made him a keeper of oaths, while Xenios was the name conferred to him as a protector of hospitality. In Greek art, Zeus was usually depicted holding a thunderbolt and sitting on a throne, befitting his position as king.
Yeah, if you guys understand about that, he was basically, usually a lot of times they'll depict him as sitting on the throne, throwing lightning bolts down to the earth or whatever. That's why they say that lightning, that's Zeus. The thunder is just the sound of the bolt striking the earth, or cloud-to-cloud lightning. Well, if it was if it was ground, they would say if it was cloud to ground lightning, it would be something, somebody really did something bad on Earth, or he was killing the mortals, whatever. Some mortals had passed away or whatever, you know. You know, just gonna throw lightning at him. But if it was cloud to cloud, he said, you know, he's having a fight. That's what they said. Okay. We gotta see what we got. Oh, we got animals now to look at. Brown horse. Okay, we got a Mycenaean horse. Nice. I like that. That's nice. Ah, we got a Pagos. Apparently he was born. Okay, so that's card talker for 4. So, okay, there's different achievements for each one. Abraxas, what's this one? Fiery steed comes straight from the underworld. Good God, that's a pretty cool looking horse. I actually think I may have seen like a snippet of this game being like the modeling and stuff, and where they were showing this horse. We're gonna have a Braxius. What? I think I saw them doing the framework for the horse in the game. That's when you start getting your horses. You got to start finding your mount. Well, what works best for you during the game, like. Yeah, you see, it's kind of like Dynasty Warriors almost, like where you got to figure out what your hell you're doing. Okay, we're getting ready to go to this period here in the meta, and then we're going to go to the civilization. We already did that one. That's the one we did, the Bronze Age. Yeah. Now we're headed to where are we headed? Classical Greece, okay. So, well, Heratos. We do this one first, yeah. Oh, the site of Delphi, yes! One of my favorites. Last one. Sorry. I love hearing him chant, though.
The Temple of Zeus was a Salaphantine statue of Zeus, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The statue, made of gold, ivory, and wood, was sculpted by the renowned artist Phidias. At 13 meters tall, it was as impressive looking as it was difficult to maintain. Oil was used to protect the wood and ivory from cracking and to prevent general decay. While the statue does not exist today, it was thankfully described by Pausanias in great detail, so its legacy lives on.
That's fucking awesome. It's sad it's not around anymore. That's one of the sites I wanted to visit as an older person. What is this? Another one. Where's the one going on? Down and straight? Okay, there he is. What the hell? It didn't have the little harp thing.
Hello again! I hope you enjoyed your visit and feel a little bit closer to the gods. Well, as close as a
mortal can get.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I'd like to talk about, let's do a quiz.
Excellent. Let's see what you remember. Your first question is a simple
Usually it is.
Which goddess was Zeus's wife?
Hera.
Correct. Not only was Hera Zeus's wife, she was his sister as well. But let's move on to the next question. What kind of contest did Pelops win in his quest to marry Hippodamia?
A chariot race.
Yes, Pelops won a chariot race, thanks to Poseidon's help. And now, the final question.
What is it?
What was inscribed on the cup found near Phidias' workshop?
This belongs to Phineas. I belong to Phineas.
Correct! Apparently, Phidias was very possessive of his things.
Yeah, I could check it.
Perhaps
I
someone
heard.
from the sanctuary kept stealing them. But I'm getting off track. Excellent work, friend! You honor the gods with your great wisdom.
Thank you, wisdom. He calls it wisdom. Like wisdom. All right, now we're gonna go to the next one.
Of course.
Hopefully this is...
Follow me, my friend.
Okay, Barnabas. Barnabas. It says Barnabas is his name, but it's like Barnabas. The way he said it was Barnabas. Like he said it like he pronounced it like he was phonetically pronouncing it. Well, that is because they created the phonetic alphabet that we transcribed into A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. That's what we've come to know, and that's what the Greeks did for us. So us English speakers actually use a lot of Greek and Roman. And Greek, Roman, and Latin are the three main, what do you call it? Oh, language origins for most of the words in the English dictionary. So, I don't know. I just say things. We done with this? Is this empty? Time for a dip then, I guess? That's empty. That's not. Drink of choice in the ancient Greeks was wine. Was it wine and mead, was it? Or whatever they called it? Wine and mead. I think it was wine and mead. Or no, mead was in Rome. That's right. I got my mythologies mixed up. My stuff mixed up. So it's region adjective. Oh, we're back with her again. This is like the fourth one I've done with her. I like her. She's kind of cool. This is about home, more about women, because she's like a patron saint of like women in this country. It seems like. We're back in Athens. This is where she resides. So now I've got it noticed through the little pop-up over here on the right-hand side of the screen. Hey, look. Hey, bird. Isn't that beautiful? That's why I love Ubisoft, man. Been playing Ubisoft shit since the Nintendo 64. Thank you, sir. Go ahead. I gotta go talk to this lady. What are we doing here? This is about...
Greetings, wanderer, and welcome to the Agora of Athens.
She is awesome, though. She's like one of my favorite heroines. But Aloy will still always be my first.
I love this Agora. Where else could you find a common fish merchant and an extravagant jewelry seller within a few feet of each other? It's that kind of variety that makes city life so rich.
So basically, we're going to go through the shops and shit now in Athens. So how they traded goods and stuff in the city of Athens. Okay, this can be neat.
The Agora is the beating heart of any Greek city.
Yeah, Agora.
It is a place where all types of people may gather, from citizens
1, 2,
and
3, 4,
foreigners
5,
to magistrates and
6,
philosophers.
7,
all manner of business
8.
is conducted here, including political meetings, legal proceedings, and trade.
So there
When
is
you
9.
finish exploring, come find me, and we can talk more. See you soon, wanderer.
You got 9 to go through here, I think. Oh, holy shit! Did not realize this could be this long. This should be interesting because I'm always about economics in the cities, and that I learn about like this stuff here. All right.
The Agora was the civic center of Athens, but it wasn't only frequented by politicians and city officials. The area housed a market where people could purchase food and other goods from merchants. It was also frequented by philosophers, who used the public space to establish schools and pass on their teachings to students. Religion had its place as well. Temples dedicated to Hephaestus and Apollo were located in the Agora, along with the altar of the 12 gods and the monument of the eponymous heroes.
Well, wasn't Apollo like... Oh, I gotta look at this real quick. Search the web for the god Apollo.
I find this on the web.
Τι τούτο είναι?
That's my bird.
Τούτο άδικον εστίν.
Hold on. So basically it's like the entertainment. He's a god of entertainment and prophecy. And he was a pretty good archer, by the way, too. Yep, that would be Apollo. Watch out, lady. Don't want to hit nobody. Uh-oh, almost dead. So, do we go up to the god, to the Apollo Acropolis up here? To Apollo's Acropolis, I think.
The painted stoa, or stoa poikile, derived its name from the panel paintings on its wall.
Oh, okay.
The paintings were created in the 5th century BCE by famous artists like and depicted
Amazing.
Greek military victories.
Amazing. 2 hours when I still have not lost any battery power in this thing.
Like the Battle of Marathon. The stoa served as a public meeting place for
I ain't pushing it. I ain't touching the buttons as much, and that does lose a lot of battery power because it's got to make an electrical contact every time the button's pressed to register. Click over here for the Bluetooth to register into the PlayStation.
But it was especially popular with philosophers who used the space to pass on their teachings.
Yep.
In 301 BCE, the philosopher Zeno of Kition chose the Stoa Poikile as the location for his school of philosophy.
The first ever lecture hall. I would say probably in the Western world. I probably doubt that. I'd say the Greeks are older than the Romans, but like, I don't know by how much. But I wonder if Macedonia actually had a lecture hall at one point too. This is where you got all the things that we consider all the mathematical stuff and the scientific things we got from this area of over in Athens, at the Agorina. We got this here, all the scientific theories and stuff we still claim are real, you know, which is cool.
Dubbed Stoicism.
Stoicism? Like, okay, hold on, we gotta go back and there's another one here somewhere. Okay, we gotta, where's this one? This one's like right there, I see it. I go this way home. There it is. Wow! Ooh, this is cool. All the 12 gods. Oh, the myth of Adonis, yeah. Sweet! There's still a lot of these to look for, I think. Maybe one's down this way. Before we get to it. No. There it is. Sorry, guys. I had to walk over the table. I'm sorry. Apollo! The Apollo Creed was in the hurt business, but you know, you want to say something else about it? You could probably be the god of entertainment. Sports entertainment. Still make it right, right? There. Oh, we got to do this first, then we got to go to the next one over there.
Trade in the Agora was supervised by magistrates. There were 5 agoranomoi who kept order in the market, controlled the quality of goods, and collected market dues.
Well, basically, it's like the USDA, the Department of Agriculture, and stuff like that. That's basically what it is. Or you got the, what do you call it? Quality control. It's like quality control in a business.
This provided revenue to the city and helped pay the magistrates and those in charge of maintaining order. The market benefited everyone. Merchants made their living, and city officials received the money they needed to keep the wheels of democracy turning.
Yep. Basically paying their taxes. Get out the way. Get out the way, sir. Oh, I'm back over here. Hold on. Let's go over here. Get this one. Stoa of Zeus. Oh, nice. That's beautiful. Will we make our way up to the top of that thing up there? Okay, where's the next one? Okay, I already got that one. That one's already done. Okay, good.
The original temple of Apollo Patrous was built around 535 BCE by Pisistratos, but was destroyed by the Persians during their invasion a few decades later. It long remained in ruins, except for the altar, which was left standing as a reminder of the Persian sacrilege. Eventually, a new temple was built in the 4th century BCE. Inside was a statue made by Euphranor, the same artist who painted in the Stoa of Zeus. The temple held special significance in Athens, as it was connected to the origin of the city's people. The name Patrous, meaning fatherly, referenced the belief that Apollo was the father of Aeon, founder of the Aeonian Greeks, from whom all Athenians are descended.
What does BCE stand for? No. I say this before Christ on earth. The eponymous heroes, the 4 heroes, yeah. Cool. Theseus, yeah, Theseus, this is Theseus. Beating up a Minotaur, well not really playing a centaur, yeah he is. It's a cool painting, you know. Let's go this way. Orator? Sweet. Now we go up to the top.
The Temple of Hephaestus overlooks the Agora from the Colonus Agoreus Hill. Today, it is one of the best preserved temples in Greece, owing to its conversion to a church in the Middle Ages.
No, he already told us
But
that.
while this transformation preserved the structure, it also damaged the surrounding sculptures. The temple was dedicated not only to Hephaestus, the god of metallurgy, but also to Athena Ergane, goddess of arts and crafts. Nearly every part of the Hephaestion was lavishly decorated with depictions of famous mythological events, like the labors of Theseus. The Theseus scenes gave the temple the nickname Thesion, a name that lives on today as a city district in Athens. The Boulaterion was another building in the Agora that contributed to the democratic process. It housed the Athenian Council of Citizens, the Boulé. This council of 500 was composed of 50 members from each Greek tribe, all of whom served a one-year term. They were chosen by lot from among citizens over 30. Every month, one group of 50 was chosen to lead the Boulé's executive committee, the Prytaneis. The Prytaneis met every day of the month and called meetings of the full council in the Boulaterion, where they spent their time discussing bills. The Prytaneon was one of the most important buildings in the Agora, as it was the headquarters of the Prytaneis. The Prytaneis was the executive committee of the Boulé, who ran the city's daily operations. The Prytaneis dined in the Prytaneon, and 17 of them slept on site to ensure there were always officials available to deal with emergencies. The Prytaneon also housed the official weights and measures of the city.
There it is.
The Fire of Hestia, which provided sacred fire for all public sacrifices, was also located there.
Yep.
The Heliaia was the most important court in Athens and was presided over by a group of judges called Heliasts. Judging was a regular part of an Athenian citizen's life, with trials happening almost every day. Heliasts were chosen randomly based on two factors. First, that they were on the official list of 6,000 potential Heliasts. Second, that they were present at court on the day of the trial. A stipend of 2 obols was established by Pericles to compensate for the loss of work while on Heliast duty, and also to encourage participation in the judiciary process.
Almost like jury members, I would say. That'd be cool.
In the Agora, an Athenian could buy and sell many different products. The permanent retail market was divided into sections according to the category of merchandise. Merchants and craftsmen who worked in the market could be citizens, foreigners, or even freed slaves. They sold everything from food and clothes to jewelry and slaves. With so much variety, competition was fierce, and that competition helped regulate the market's prices. The Heliaia wasn't the only court in Athens. This other the South Stoa. Historians believe it to be a court based on the discovery of a nearby box containing 7 bronze ballots. These ballots were used by jurors to give their verdicts. The reason trials were so common in Athens might have been related to their democratic regime, which promoted the individual's right to demand reparations for injustice. However, not all legal matters were settled in this fashion. If a claim was small enough, it was settled individually by a magistrate. Public trials were reserved for serious offenses, such as murder, theft, and political crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Κάκιον και πολλό κάκιον έτσι. Έκαστος
Η Κρεοπόλη αφ' αυτούς δει η ένε ζητήσει.
Δίντα τον εσύ. Ούτε έχω τόσα αυτά χρήματα.
The mint was where the city made its coinage. It is believed that Athens' mint was in the city's agora, as modern excavations have turned up small disc-shaped pieces of metal used to make coins. Much of the silver required for minting coinage came from the Lavrion silver mines. Athens was so dependent on the mines that when they lost them during the Peloponnesian War, the city was forced to melt down a gold statue of Athena to mint gold coins and avert a monetary crisis.
You have now experienced the Agora, following in the footsteps of countless Athenians before you. I hope the trip has impressed upon you how important this place was to trade, politics, and law. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Very well. Let's begin. Which philosopher's school took its name from the painted stoa? Socrates was one of the great... Aristhenes is off... Yes, Zenon taught at the stoa, and so he and his followers were dubbed Stoics. Time for another question. What other name has the Iphistion gone by? Correct. The name was inspired by the scenes showing the hero Theseus, which decorate the temple. Only one question left. When Athens lost the Lavrion silver mines during the Correct. The Athenians melted down a statue of Athena to mint gold coins. It's clear you are very familiar with the Agora of Athens. As you wish. Let's see what else Greece has in store for you.
And 300 Spartans at Thermopylae. Yay!
Here, visitor, and welcome to this sacred site. Delphi is an amazing place to visit if you're looking for information. I've come here on several occasions in search of answers to some particularly puzzling questions. And sometimes, I even found them. This is Delphi, home of the renowned oracle. Greeks considered it the navel of the world. Pilgrims and kings journeyed here from all over Greece and beyond, seeking advice from Apollo through the voice of his interpreter, Pythia. During your visit, you will experience the sanctuary through a pilgrim's eye and discover how important oracles and prophecies were to the people of Greece. Now, go off and begin your pilgrimage. I will be waiting for you at the end of your visit.
On their journey to the Temple of Apollo, pilgrims walked this sacred path up Mount Parnassus. The summer sun beat down hot on their backs. Along the way, they took in the magnificent monuments, treasuries, and statues that adorned the road. These landmarks were tokens of people's reverence for the oracle's benevolence. All were dedicated to Apollo, and most were offered by cities to commemorate military victories. The monuments represented not only their donors' piety, but also their power and wealth. The sanctity of Delphi has endured to the present day, and visitors still take this very same route.
Λέγω εμ' αυτό, ευρέ την άσπρο.
One of the most impressive dedications to Apollo came from the Cnidians, a Greek population that colonized the island of Lipari, north of Sicily. The story behind this dedication is notable. The Cnidians were at war with the Etruscans in the Tyrrhenian Sea. Seeking a good omen, the Cnidians consulted the oracle, and following her advice, they successfully captured 20 enemy ships. To thank Apollo, they offered the god the same number of statues as ships seized. Next to the Naxian Sphinx stood a simple structure to display offerings from the Athenians, most of which were spoils of war. In particular, these offerings, called ex-votos, were prows of sunken Persian ships. The Athenians built the portico after their naval victory over the Persians in 478 BCE.
They'll ride through the fire.
Once arriving before the temple, pilgrims wishing to consult the oracle had to first pay a tax. This tax gave them the initial right to approach the altar of Apollo and make an animal sacrifice to the god. But before proceeding to the Pythia, the preliminary ritual had to succeed. If the animal reacted favorably and showed signs of acceptance to the god, it was sacrificed, and the pilgrim would be allowed to enter the temple to question the Pythia. At last we arrive at the Temple of Apollo, where the oracle relayed her prophecies. The temple was the final destination of those seeking an audience with the Pythia, and its appearance matched the majesty of its purpose. Atop its imposing columns, the structure's pediments displayed famous mythological scenes, sculpted by the renowned Greek artist Antenor. But as grand as the temple looked from the outside, it paled in comparison with what happened within.
Αναπόδραστες εκβάσεις έτεινες νυχτέ τη Θέμηδη.
Η τραγωδία
Prophecies were given in the most restricted part of the temple, the Aditon, by a chaste woman known as the Pythia. Before delivering prophecies, she first purified herself with water, then burned laurel leaves and barley flour to begin the ritual. Finally, while seated on a tripod surrounded by offerings, the Pythia delivered Apollo's messages. Her words were often strange and indecipherable, and required further interpretation by the temple's priests. Despite much research, the exact causes of the oracle's behavior while prophesying are debated to this day. Myths say that while searching for an oracle who could impart their words to mortals, Apollo established a sanctuary. Apollo took over.
Μάκαρ πολιόνιμε.
Your visit is complete. I hope you now understand how important this sanctuary was to be. Ah, you wish. What did the oracle use to purify herself before her Correct. The oracle used water for purification. Time for another question. Which god was believed to speak through the oracle at Delphi? Yes, the oracle. One final question for Delphi is situated on which mountain? This mountain is... No. Correct. Delphi stood on the slope of Mount Parnassos. Well done, traveler. As you wish. It has been a pleasure sharing Delphi with you.
Εστιμιασμός μυτιόμενος ή να κλονίσει την ισορροπία του πνεύματος.
We are ready, my king.
Tell me, Venekis, have you ever gone fishing with your son?
No, never. A soldier's life is all I've had the honor to know.
I would have liked to have gone fishing with my son. But now... let us meet our fate, shall we? Spartans! Every breath that you have taken has led you to this moment. Every drop of blood, sweat, and tear, all of it has led to where you stand right now. The Persians come to make slaves of us all. I have a better idea. I say we drench the gods with their bloods! What say you, Spartans? For our sons! For our daughters!
For Sparta!
Leonidas! Oh! The greatest scene ever in cinematic history. Here it goes. Leonidas. Oh! 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 Ow! Hey! Hey! Calm down there, Rock. What's his name who played him? The famous ledge. Here it is. It's favorite part of the whole movie.
Puny Spartan! I'll bring Xerxes your head!
Xerxes sends his sheep to slaughter. Come, Persian!
I will bring Xerxes your head, you insolent Spartan fool!
Come and get it!
Your bloodline ends today, Spartan! I'll get drunk on your blood as the crows feed on your eyes!
You will try, and you will fail!
Xerxes is the king of kings! All will bow before him after I crush you!
Come, fool! Enough talk! Time to die! My son is more of a warrior than you!
Once I'm done with you, king, all of Sparta's sons will be slaves for Xerxes!
Sparta's sons would rather die!
That can be arranged! Not so tough without your army to protect you!
Then... No match for a Spartan!
Sir King. Sir King. Leonidas, yeah. King Leonidas right there. Oh, man.
We are betrayed, my king. Xerxes knows of the path behind the mountain. They're coming.
By dawn, you will be completely surrounded.
Maybe.
We are Spartans. When are we not?
Spartans. That word will mean nothing when Xerxes wipes your bloodline from the face of...
Today was a day the Persians will never forget. Tomorrow is a day the world will remember.
Yep.
Finally.
Oh no. Maybe she found Leonidas' thing.
Wow. This is big, Layla. Did you really think it's the spear?
This is the one. The book was almost right on top of it. I've never been so lucky in my life. Okay, let's start her up.
Are you sure we can trust this thing? I mean, the book could be...
Just started, Victoria.
Back at the
You're the boss, boss.
2.0.
I'll prep it for you.
Here's the 2.0. Here she goes. Back into it. She's like Tank.
Okay, so worth noting, I've made some changes since you were last in here.
Okay.
There's no keeping up with the tech industry these days.
I can crank up the simulation to maximum sensory synchronization if you're up for it.
Let's take this one step at a time.
Understood. If you're looking for something a little more intense, I can always adjust the settings for you later. This bit will let me know how much information will be fed to you during your time in the Animus.
Give me as much information as you got. There's no way I'm going in there without some guidance.
Glad to help. You can always change your mind later. Listen, Layla, before you go off...
If this book is right, this spear, this story, it will change everything.
You're putting a lot of faith in a fairly unreliable source. Historian or not, this guy wrote about magical objects and the will of the gods.
He's not Homer. Herodotus was the first recorded historian, so there's a lot more truth in that text than you think. I mean, what better way is there of finding Isu artifacts than by trusting in the guy who claimed to meet an actual descendant?
I know, but...
I need you to trust me. You could be right. This spear, this book, it could all be crap. But something tells me it isn't, and I'm certainly not gonna let Abstergo find out first.
You're right. We haven't got much to lose anyway. There's just one small problem.
What is it?
This manuscript is in rough condition, to say the least. The DNA found on the spear has identified 2 different individuals. You're going to have to pick which strand of DNA to pursue. The choice is yours.
He will lead us down the right path, I'm sure.
All right, boss. We're finally good to go. 431 BCE, here we come!
The start of the Peloponnesian War.
Good luck in there. No pressure or anything, but we're all depending on you.
Abstergo isn't gonna win this time. If what the book says is true and we do actually find the artifact, the assassins will finally have a chance to rise again.
You can do it.
Oh, and Victoria? Read the book. It holds the secrets I won't be able to find on my own when I'm in there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Why do you pick it up and drop it? Boy, he needed a sustenance. Look at he's flying at. Oh Jesus! A lot of Greek ships out there. So are we going right here to this place? I think so. He's got the spear in his hands.
Hey! Shitface! Get down here! Cyclops got a message for you.
What does Cyclops got from me?
Tell your boss he can stick it.
That's for last week!
Malaka!
Called him an asshole, didn't he? He did.
The Cyclops said you like to act tough, so act tough! Get a little closer and I will.
You should know by now. The Cyclops always collects his debts. You have a lesson to learn.
If the Cyclops wants to teach me, tell him to come here himself. Never mess with the Cyclops!
Did I win?
Last week? This shit happens every week. I can't keep doing this. Nah. Thanks for the warning.
What happened to you?
It's nothing, Phoebe. All taken care of now.
The Cyclops again, huh? Hasn't he learned his lesson yet?
Apparently not. Of course. Help yourself.
You hungry too, Icarus? Do you think Zeus will bless me with an ego like he blessed you, Alexios? Maybe you could ask him for me.
I'll try to put in a good word for you.
Finally.
So, what are you doing here?
Oh, I almost forgot.
Marcos is looking for you.
What does that weasel want now?
Don't know. He wants you to meet him at his new house. On his vineyard.
Wait, what? A vineyard? Malaka!
It's on the road to Sami. He says wine...
What does Malaka mean?
Here's what I found.
What does Malaka mean?
Here's what I found.
What does Malaka in Greek mean?
I found this on the web.
Let me figure this out real quick. Hold on. Dumbass. Yeah, pretty much. Asshole, dumbass.
Make him rich.
Since when has he had a vineyard?
Yesterday, I think?
So, Marcos, who owes me drachmi, is buying vineyards. With what money?
I don't know.
Where can I find Marcos's new, beautiful estate?
You know the statue of Zeus on Mount Ainos? It's south of that.
Well, I guess I owe Marcos a little visit. Thank you, Phoebe.
I'll go tell Marcos you're coming.
My head. Fun's over. Tell that one-eyed freak, if he sends you here again, I'm going to cut his other eye out and feed it to my bird. I'll see Marcos as soon as I'm dressed. I'll have to go up top to get dressed. Phoebe slept here again. Poor kid. No place to call home. Let's get this on.
Get out the way! There we go.
There he is! Get him! By Ares!
I expected more. Hey, stop running!
Guess this is the vineyard. Straight ahead.
Δι διαφυγήν με εντεύθεν παντή τρόπο.
Μεγαλώνει με και πολιώνει με χθονία και πλησπώνε επί αγρότη και λυπηρία μου επικαλούμε σε, Μάκαρ.
Mighty Kephalus, I entreat you, send us a champion, someone worthy of your mighty spear. Help your priestess in her hour of need.
You called?
Oh, Alexius. You startled me.
Why are you looking for a champion?
I need someone worthy to win the Spear of Kephalus. I've been deciphering some of the sanctuary's stone carvings. They say the spear was hidden in the caves beneath Kefalonia when the temple was built. You could get it for me, couldn't you? I can give you a reward.
If the spear is in the caves, I'll find it.
Well, maybe you were sent by Kephalus.
So where is this spear?
Apparently, it's hidden deep in the caves beneath Kefalonia. There's an entrance north of here. Maybe you can try that way first.
That's not much.
You have...
I'll see what I can find.
Oh, thank you.
You don't look so good.
I angered them, I think. The gods.
It's possible. I hear they can be vengeful.
I used to work...
In the cave?
They grant we... no.
You know Hermie?
Oh, but the...
I don't have time.
I guess so.
Είπαγε.
I'm going to stop here, guys. That's a good starting stopping point.